Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner brought to you by That's Cafe. I'm Katelyn Grisillo, and joining us today from the women's soccer team is Coach Hillary. Thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
So you started off your home opener last Wednesday, a night against Lenore Ryan. What were your thoughts on the crowd?
The crowd was phenomenal. I keep hearing all these things about how the university and the community together support the women's and men's soccer team really well, and that's actually what was shown. So it was really nice to see that in person, and they were really rowdy, and it helped our girls, especially in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Okay, aside from the supportive fans, what are some positives you can take away from the last two matches?
Obviously, we kind of got to a very slow start in the first half against Lenore Ryan, but challenged them at halftime. And they responded. They responded exactly the way we wanted them to. They showed a lot of adversity. They overcame it, and they pulled it together, which is what a lot of teams can't do when they go down that much. But they came back, and they played a really good game of soccer. And the Wingate game we were very pleased with because they played as a team, teaching them more about zonal defending and how to keep your shape. And within 2-day turnaround, they came around and they really showed that they were willing to do that. And we had some lapses in the game, and then Wingate did a really great job of capitalizing on those misshapen defense and center mids, and they put the ball in the back of the net. So all credit goes to them. But our girls still battled, and it was a really great game. They got 2 late goals in the half, so I'm pretty much working on fitness so that we can maintain those 45 minutes continuously.
Okay. Unfortunately, you suffered a loss to Sarah Moore, who's a huge help, obviously, in the midfield, and some other injuries along the way. So how does that affect your game plan as you go into each game without a potential starter or someone who just gives you big minutes?
They've actually stepped up really well. There's been some key incomers and underclassmen that have stepped up and showed that they're ready to take over, which is good because when those upperclassmen come back, then it gives competition, which competition always raises the level of play. So we're really excited about that. It also gives those underclassmen some valuable minutes that they typically wouldn't get because we have 9 seniors on the team. So we're pretty pleased with how the incomers have done. Some freshman errors, not just freshmen, right, but like newcomer errors. But they've stepped up. They've done a great job, and we're very pleased with the way that they've overcome it.
Okay, now I watched y'all's game against Wingate. I've heard a lot about how happy the players were with how Amanda Giordano played, a freshman. So can you talk about her play a little individually?
AG provides us, Amanda Giordano provides us with that versatility and that tenacity, and she has that thirst to win and do whatever the team needs. And she stepped up, and she's really been very consistent, and that's all we can really ask for a freshman. But to also come up and actually be a game changer like she is being, then that's huge for our depth. But and it wasn't just AG. I mean, pretty much all the underclassmen have gone in, and when they've gone in, they've made a pretty positive impact. But yeah, AG's done a phenomenal job. Kimmy stepped up pretty well in that last game as well. In the center back role, and Taylor had to go down, and Frick is unfortunately out right now. So yeah, we've gotten a little creative with our lineups, but they're stepping up and providing us some good minutes.
That's all you can ask for.
Yep.
Okay, aside from Aiken, are there any Peach Belt teams that stuck out to you this weekend as you watch the games?
Typically, my philosophy is one game at a time. So Georgia College is pretty much our fit right now. So we were very. I'm very proud of Hope and her team to see that they held the #1 team in the nation to a 2-0 loss against Barry, and they're playing another tough opponent on Wednesday. So it should be really interesting with Lee. So it should be really interesting to see how they rebound off of that while we have a whole week of just recuperating, getting those players back, and then coming at them full force. So we're just really focused on them right now. The Peach Belt's always difficult. Right. So sitting there and only taking it one game at a time, I think that's what our team is going to be best at.
Okay, so y'all do start conference play this weekend against Georgia College. I know you're really big about just worrying about us, or like your team, and not stressing the other opponent as much. So what are some areas that you would like to stress to your team this week?
The amount that they grew within those 2 days from Lenore Ryan over to Wingate, that was phenomenal, but we're going to have to grow even faster now. Now we're in the Peach Belt. Now games really, really matter, because if we want to make that tournament, we gotta prove it now.
Right.
So team shape, we still need to work on it, and then basically working on playing a little quicker and moving up the field as a unit instead of just like two people. So we're working on all that stuff. Mainly, we're just working on the transition, and the shape is really what this whole week's about.
Okay, now we got the win over Georgia College last year, 1-0. Off a header by Hannah Allison. Does that give you any confidence going to this year's match, or do you just focus on the present?
Yeah, no, it does. It gives me confidence, because the girls have that mentality. They want it. We had a really tough first 4 games against some really great opponents. So now we feel like we're ready. We're ready to play. We're getting there. We're getting the concepts down. We're working more as a team. So gives us more confidence going in. It also gives us more confidence that we have a whole week to sit there and prepare. We feel like it's just been nonstop go since August 15th. So now we actually have the time to sit down with them and work on some things.
Right. You've mentioned how tough the PBC is. I think it's well known how competitive the Peach Belt is. What do you think it takes to be successful in the conference and also make it to the tournament?
One thing we don't have is depth. We're struggling, especially right now, with the injuries that we're sustaining. But I would say that the main thing is just heart and the determination to win. Right now, the girls have it, and they showed it in Wingate. The way they rebounded against Lenore Ryan, which is a fantastic team to go play Wingate, which is another great team. So to see the fact that they want it that bad, and they know that, yeah, it wasn't a great start, but it doesn't mean that we're done. It means that now we have something to prove even more, and the girls want it so bad, so we want it too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Coach. Wish you best of luck this week in preparing.
Thank you.
That wraps up another edition of Coach's Corner, brought to you by Fats Cafe with Coach Hillary. I'm your host, Katelyn Grisillo. Thank you for watching.